Imagine this, it's 2025. You check Zillow on your phone, and the house you've been eyeing hasn't budged in price for months. The market feels frozen, but behind the scenes, sales are quietly collapsing. What does this mean for you, a buyer, an investor, or simply someone trying to protect their financial future? Stick with me, because today we're going to unpack the shocking truth about the U.S. housing market in 2025, and I promise, by the end, you'll know exactly how to turn uncertainty into opportunity. And no, it doesn't involve building a bunker or hiding gold bars under your mattress. Imagine this, the housing market is frozen in time. Prices are stuck, stubbornly refusing to fall, while home sales are collapsing. It feels like watching a car engine running at the very edge of a cliff. No movement, just tension. So, why is this happening? The answer lies in interest rates. After years of ultra-cheap money, rates remain high. That shift has crushed affordability. For millions of would-be buyers, the monthly payment on a modest home is now out of reach. And sellers? They're not budging. Why would they? If you locked in a 3% mortgage back in 2020, you're not about to give that up for a new loan at double the cost. That choice has turned the market into gridlock. But here's where it gets interesting and a little scary. When supply freezes and demand weakens, something always gives. The system can't stay in balance forever. The real question is, what breaks first? Do prices finally crack under the weight of weak sales? Do sales grind so low they drag the whole economy with them? Or does confidence itself collapse, the belief that housing is always a safe bet? Because once confidence slips, it spreads. Buyers hesitate. Sellers panic. And suddenly, what felt like a standstill becomes a slide. Sales volumes are plunging, down double digits compared to last year. In some cities, open houses feel like ghost towns. Sellers wait, buyers hesitate, and the energy that usually drives real estate has evaporated. And yet, prices are still holding on. On the surface, it looks calm. But that calm is deceptive. It's a dangerous illusion. People think, if prices aren't falling, maybe the market is fine. Wrong. It's like looking at a patient in a hospital bed whose vitals look stable, but beneath the surface, the heart is fighting to keep up. Think about avocados at the grocery store. One week they're stacked high, perfectly ripe. The next week, they're gone, shelves empty, and you wonder what happened. Housing feels the same way right now. Scarcity mixed with confusion. You see fewer homes on the market, and the ones that are listed seem oddly expensive, almost untouched by reality. But just like with avocados, the missing inventory doesn't mean demand is strong, it just means supply has vanished. That disappearance creates distortions. It tricks the eye, making you believe everything's stable when, in fact, the system is under stress. Because here's the truth, a market can't run on disappearing sales forever. Something will break. And when it does, it won't be gradual. It will feel sudden, even though the warning signs were right there all along. For families, this market is more than numbers on a chart, it's dreams delayed. The home you hoped to buy last year, maybe even last month, suddenly feels out of reach. Every pause, every empty open house, is a small heartbreak. For investors, it's like sitting at a poker table where nobody blinks. The stakes are high, but no one is making a move. Every decision feels risky, so most just wait and wait. And for renters, frustration grows. The gap between renting and owning stretches wider with every month, every rate increase. It's easy to feel trapped, watching the market spin in place while your goals slip further away. Here's the emotional truth, uncertainty breeds fear. That knot in your stomach isn't irrational, it's the market whispering that something is coming. But here's the twist, fear, when harnessed, can become focus. While most people freeze and panic, the prepared lean in. They study trends, understand the risks, and position themselves to act when the moment arrives. Now, here's the cliffhanger. What if I told you that the greatest wealth transfer in real estate, the kind that shapes fortunes, often happens exactly when everyone else is scared stiff? The very moment the headlines scream crash or collapse, the opportunity quietly waits for those ready to move. Because in markets, as in life, timing isn't everything, it's the only thing. History has a way of teaching tough lessons, especially in real estate. Time and again, we see the same pattern: sales collapse, yet prices stubbornly cling to their highs. On the surface, it feels stable, almost comforting. But underneath, the system is quietly shifting. Corrections in the market are inevitable. And they don't always come with a dramatic crash. Sometimes, it's a slow bleed, a subtle erosion that catches people off guard. The headlines might cheer, prices still strong, while the real story is unfolding quietly beneath their feet. Already, the signs are there. Investors are offloading rental properties. Developers are hitting pause on new projects. Foreclosure activity is creeping upward, almost imperceptibly, but it's happening. These aren't isolated blips, they're tremors. Here's the lesson: don't let stable prices hypnotize you. The market isn't just about the numbers on the screen or the price tags on listings. Watch the movement beneath. Because it's the subtle shifts, the cracks, the hesitations, the quiet exits, that signal the earthquake before it arrives. And the truth is, those who notice these tremors first are the ones who can prepare, protect, and even profit when the correction finally comes. Here's the part most people completely miss: every downturn hides an opportunity. You just have to know where to look. Think back to 2008. The headlines screamed collapse and crisis. Fear was everywhere. But those who studied the market, who stayed patient and strategic, turned what seemed like modest investments into life-changing fortunes. The opportunity was there, most just didn't see it. Fast forward to 2025, and the lesson hasn't changed. The same chance exists today. Not by gambling on luck, but by being patient, liquid, and ready to move when the right moment arrives. Warren Buffett put it perfectly: be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Right now, fear is rising. And no, this doesn't mean you should text your cousin and buy his rundown garage for $500,000. That's impulsive. The key is strategy. Observe the market, understand the signals, position yourself, and then act decisively when the timing is right. That's how fortunes are made, quietly and deliberately, while the crowd panics. Because here's the truth: opportunity is often disguised as fear. And those who can see through the panic are the ones who come out ahead. So, what should you do? 3 things. Protect your cash flow, don't stretch beyond your means. Educate yourself, knowledge is the best hedge against fear. Stay liquid, opportunities don't announce themselves, but liquidity lets you move when they arrive. Remember, the market doesn't reward the loudest voices, it rewards the most prepared. And here's a twist: while everyone obsesses over home prices, there's another asset class quietly poised to benefit from this chaos. Curious? That's a story for another video. So, as the housing market of 2025 stalls and sales crash, don't see it as the end of opportunity. See it as the beginning of strategy. Because wealth isn't built in times of certainty, it's built in times of chaos. If you're serious about making smart financial decisions and building long-term wealth, subscribe right now and join me on this journey. Because the market will shift, and when it does, you'll want to be the one holding the keys, not the one left outside the door. The choice is yours.